Did you know the body cam footage of King Von passing away was released, as it documents the moments leading up to and after the bullets were flying?
Yo, you sit over here. You sit over here, brother. Yo, you better watch out. Hey, brother. This is my brother, bro. Okay? Hey, come on, chill. Come with me, okay? Okay. You, get out the car. Out the car. Okay?
Calm down, he's
Get out the car. I gotta go to the hospital, my leg. Yeah, we gonna get you to the hospital.
Alongside more footage being released, a viral tweet reads, Von made it through his 2 surgeries and woke up screaming for his firearm, but he went into shock and passed. He had only 1 more surgery to go, as these are words from a close member of OTF.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries to go. He made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital?
Because she was there at the hospital.
But did you know rappers hinted towards this before? On November 5th, 2020, Von and his crew prepared to head to a club in Atlanta for his album's release party. The night was supposed to be a massive celebration of the life and success ahead of King Von, but no one knew it would be so short-lived. King Von had enemies, and growing up in a place as dangerous as O Block, he knew the risks of being caught in public. So when rolling out to the club, Von's crew consisted of 20+ members spread across 8 vehicles that went to the party. Even Von's manager, 100K Track, spoke on the extreme measures Von took regarding his safety.
I travel with 1 security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. We're like, I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on entourage.
But late in the night, something would change. Von began acting strange and put his life in jeopardy. But while celebrating his album in the club, everything was going great. By 2:30 in the morning, Von and his crew began exiting the club, with the plan of everyone returning back to their Airbnbs for the night, except Von had different plans.
Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
With the whole crew heading to the Airbnb, Von told his driver to go to another club known as the Monaco Lounge, as Von caught word online that Quando Rondo and his crew was there and he wanted to check them.
So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, you know we here by ourselves, like, where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
Unfortunately, the other people in Von's truck only told the rest of the team about the new club once they arrived at Monaco. With the rest of his crew finding out, they changed direction and began speeding to the new club to protect Von. According to 100K Track, he knew Von was acting different on this night. Rather than being upbeat and vibing with everyone, he was very quiet.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes.
Despite his crew arriving and ready to go into the club, Von refused to go in and waited for 30 minutes in the truck. Once Von agreed to go in, his crew cleared out the club, and because of Monaco's rules, his crew had to get rid of their firearms.
I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, you know, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
But the real concern was in the parking lot, because Quando and his crew were parked in the same parking lot as Von. Supposedly, they were trying to get some sleep, but one of Von's members spotted Quando Rondo and his team and notified Von they were there.
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
Almost instantly, King Von jumped out the truck and walked towards Quando's car to confront him. Von's team wanted him to chill out and not cause a scene, but he didn't care. Von walked out in front of Quando's white SUV and started swinging on him.
He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
with King Von winning the brawl on Quando and bringing him to the ground. Quando's friend Lil Tim comes from behind the white vehicle with a firearm, and with no hesitation unloads on King Von. Von was hit multiple times and his manager got hit once in the leg. Within a couple seconds of Tim aiming at King Von, Von's members whipped out their own firearms and retaliated on Lil Tim, making him fall to the ground only a couple feet away. But to make the situation even worse, off-duty police officers down the street pulled up to the sound of firearms and tried to calm the situation down. Except all the officers would be responsible for is taking out a couple more members of Von's crew and ultimately created complete chaos on the street. While it's all going down, King Von's laying on the street with Quando Rondo right beside him. Some people believe Quando was trying to snatch Von's chains, but Von's manager believes Von was holding Quando there as a shield to protect himself from all the firearms going off.
And was he trying to take Von's chain or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Von was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting he's that strong, like, he was literally holding him.
However, the off-duty officers quickly pulled away from the scene and both teams did the same. With the area cleared, the race to save King Von's life began. OTF member Muwop ran into the middle of the street, picked up King Von and took him to their getaway vehicle. Despite Von being hit 4 times, he remained conscious in the car. According to the members that were with Von in the car, they said he kept everybody in good spirits and assured them he would be okay.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Von was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
King Von was rushed into the operating room, where he had 2 surgeries done before going into shock and passing away. Because new reports share Von lived through the surgeries, but passed away after he woke up looking for his firearm, the same one Boozy spoke about.
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even.
King Von
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if you have real security,
all them niggas supposed to blast. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over
bro.
everyone right now.
That f me up, bro. Cause I like King Von. You know?
The news later released the passing of King Von, and it shook the rap industry. King Von was infamous for being one of Chicago's most fearless and dangerous street members. So to see him fall to a beef with another rapper was thought to be impossible.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of guns.
But things with O Block were extremely different once Von passed, because with O Block members just wanting to see a mural of him, they had to be on edge.
Check it out, let's walk over here and see this Von picture. I know it's a lot of ops on this. I'm letting y'all see where I'm at. Why is this black truck still right here? Man, watch that truck. Watch that truck right there.
On Quando Rondo's team, Lil Tim survived his injuries at the same hospital. Although he was charged with King Von's passing, ultimately he went through multiple bond hearings and court dates, but the court found he acted in self-defense. As his lawyer announced, the case against Mr. Leaks aka Lil Tim was dismissed before ever being indicted. However, Von's best friends knew they had to do something about it, because in the following months, a big-time hit happened on Quando's crew at a gas station.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath,
which resulted in Quando's close friend Lil Pab being taken out. The news captured the moment Quando found out, as he experienced that same pain that Von's crew did just 2 years prior.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
However, this is the crime that's gotten Durk locked up, as the feds believe they can prove Durk ordered the hit, because there's many incriminating lyrics against Durk, like the lyrics, "They like Durk, he a singer, he won't do something. You can believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit." But what's even worse is that he mentions how Quando reacted at the scene in his feature on Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, where Durk raps, "Look on the news and see your son screaming no no." Quando Rondo's tried to distance himself from the street life since, as he just wants peace. Unfortunately, life in O Block hasn't been the same since Von passed. As he was somewhat of a leader for them, they've been lost since he's been gone. Like how they are constantly looking over their shoulder at every moment, like we mentioned earlier.